This is kind of an old school, kind of crude way of checking piston valve clearance. Take some putty and put it in the valve relief. Take an old head gasket you can put on, and then go ahead and I've got two solid lifters in, so so the hydraulic wouldn't give. But then you put the head on and put the two push rods and the two rockers, spin the motor over, and then once you spin it over, take and cut your putty, cut it open where at its tightest point, make a slice, and then take your caliper and measure, see how much piston to valve there is, just as a quick reference. Then once you pull the head off, look at, the clay's indented. You want to just take a razor blade, slice, try not to distort it. Got 236 on the exhaust. $173 on the intake. So it's well within the tolerance, because I've always used 90 on the intake, 100 on the exhaust. But Summit and comp cams, they say 80 on the intake and 100 on the exhaust. So anything more than that, you're in pretty good shape. So I checked this one with a 172 rocker and a 1.6 rocker, because I'm trying to make up my mind which one I was going to use. And so it's well within spec with both of them. Just about got the 289 together now. It's a long block. Well, it's got the heads on it, the oil pan, timing cover, everything. Still like putting the lifters, push rods, rockers, intake, valve covers, and the pulleys and water pump and stuff. The reason I'd, these heads here that are ones that came with the 85 short bed I had bought. I ended up profiting, this part of the parts, I ended up profiting on it. This set of heads is got 194 and 1.6 stainless valves, screw-in studs, guide plates, new springs, retainers, and locks. Set up for a hydraulic flat tappet cam. The bigger valves is the reason I wanted to go ahead and check piston to valve clearance, even though it is a mild cam only with the 471 lift. But the reason I wanted to check piston to valve is because the bigger valve size and those pistons were a stock type replacement, and the valve reliefs are cut for the OEM valve size, which is 178 intake and a 145 exhaust. So if you put a very aggressive cam with that, you'd run into piston to valve clearance problem. That's the reason I wanted to check it, just to make sure. And it turns out it was well within spec. So also, another one of the parts that I profited is a Performer RPM intake, and it was ported, gasket matched to these heads. And so I'm gonna run that on here also. The rockers, I guess I'm gonna use are a set of 1/6 rollers that I have that came with they were actually on the other 289. Stuff. So cam assembly lube is messy stuff. These push rods are actually more of the parts that came with with these heads, intake, all that stuff from the truck. They're a hardened push rod, made in USA. They're Elgin. Like I said, came with 16 of them. So that's what I'm gonna use. Check out, you can take a Sharpie and mark the tip of your valve if you don't have any die cam. So just mark the tip of it. on the rockers. I like to just run them down to the touch, and then a half a turn of preload. Spin it over a couple. Spin it over a couple times. And then check to see where it's where the wear pattern is. I want it to be close to center. Right there, it's dead center of that one. Real close on that one. So. There it is with all the rockers and push rods installed. There's the intake just sitting on there. I'm gonna have to go get some new bolts for the intake. One thing they've done on this is cut the divider down between the two runners. Yeah. I don't know about that for street application. I mean, it's still not the same as the opening plenum, I guess, but it looks like they've done a good job, but I just don't know about it. I saw on the Engine Master show, I've heard them talk about, cutting that opening in a dual plane like that, but I think the ones they do are not cut down quite as far. I think they only come down like that much. But I don't know. I didn't do it. I probably wouldn't have done it. But I've got it. It didn't really cost me anything, so I'm gonna run it.
Dad, you ready?
Yeah. No, wrong way.
What do I say?
You don't have to say nothing, just do it. Keep it tight.
Is it doing it?
Yeah, you're doing it. Alright.
Okay, I can do
that.
this one.
Good job. No, other way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Good job.
I'm tighten it tight so the bolts don't fall.
Yeah. Tighten it tight so the bolts don't fall. Let me help you with that.
I got that one. I can do it, Dad.
Okay, do it.
Watch, when it's tight, it's better for me.
Okay.
Watch when it's tight.
You popped off of it. Good job. Good job.
I'm doing a good job tightening this.
Yeah. Keep going. Good job. Good job. Alright, as you saw from my little helper there, got the water pump on, the intake's on. This water pump's an old Brock that I ran on my drag car that was given to me by a friend of mine when I was building the car. I ran a Corvette radiator on the drag car. It was given to me by another friend. So my friend had this water pump. It was a 289 pump, and he deals in Fox body Mustang stuff, and he bought out a whole shop of parts. And anyway, this new Hellbrock pump was in the stuff, and it was a 289 pump. He had no use for it, so he found I was building the drag car, asked me if I could use it. I told him yeah, so he gave it to me. I used it, so that's all the miles it's got on it. It's just some drag strip passes with an electric water pump motor. So I decided to put it on the ST and use it here. So went to had to make a trip to Tractor Supply to get some grade 8 bolts. It's hard to beat Tractor Supply. Grade 8 bolts, $3.79 a pound. Hard to beat it. I get the size smaller washer always. Like these are all 1/4 inch washers on the 5/16 bolt. That way it don't stick out so far and it fits the bolt good and snug. There she is. She's coming together. Like getting the valve covers I'm gonna put on it are a set of old Holly cast aluminum fin valve cover. Right here, one of them sets. I bought them at a swap meet a few years back. I sanded them down. I'd painted them blue. I had them on one project, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do them black with the wrinkle finish paint. May try to leave the Holly blue, or may repaint it blue after the wrinkle cures. They've kind of done that on this intake. I think it looks pretty good. There she is. She is coming together slowly but surely.